Celebrate good times, come on. For those of you that are late coming, tonight's episode is entitled "Time to Die."
No, but Gail, say it like Shang Tsung. It's time to die.
All right. How's everybody doing? I quote that still.
Your soul is mine.
Yeah, we're doing good.
By the way, if we win tonight, I'm changing the title to "No Time to Die."
Ooh,
Oh, that's such a good movie.
clever.
Oh, I was.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's everything you expect in a Bond movie, and more.
Have yet to
I
see
will
it.
say, I was telling somebody else about it. Because it's Daniel Craig's last Bond, he got to check all the Bond boxes.
What do you mean?
Like, he got to do all of the Bond things. Like, have the cool pen that explodes and, like...
Oh, you mean from all of
escape
his
from a
movies, or
plane,
just?
and like he didn't run across alligators or anything, but like he got to do all of the
Yes, he did. Not in the last one, but he
Oh.
did it in.
but I mean in the last movie, like
Oh, in the last movie, they basically run him through all the Bond stuff.
yeah.
We were talking about that at dinner. I was like, you go to a Bond movie, you know exactly what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And 2 hours later, you walk out going, "I got exactly what I wanted."
My fish are so emo, their lights are out.
Wish my kids would be out.
It's dark.
They're still up?
They haven't been sleeping a lot, and they're working their way through the sleep cycle. So now they're up at this time, and then they sleep while I'm at work. So it works out.
Interesting.
Lock the taskbar. Lock the taskbar. If shall we don't like it.
I swear, if I show that video at work, people are gonna die.
Lock the taskbar.
Bill's already has a reputation for funnies.
My meme.
We need more of those.
My meme game is
Strong.
and
I have not yet broached that with my coworkers. I had that reputation at my last job, but we haven't had the casual all hands sort of meeting yet. They've all been like, "You're meeting with the VPs, you're meeting with the board," and I haven't felt like that was the appropriate time to break out gifts.
I don't do gifts. I'm known for the quick joke that is timed really well for what we're doing. Though it will
You show that
occasionally.
Here.
Thank you. It occasionally borders on Bobby level of jokes.
I was gonna say Bobby. Oh,
Dude, it's a Bobby joke. In fact,
Because,
I didn't even have to explain
like
Bobby.
Bobby Hill from King of the Hill.
no,
No.
Bobby, guy we went to college with.
One of our college
Ooh.
buddies.
He would think of something funny, but by the time he would get to say it, it would land at the most inappropriate time.
Really smart guy.
But
Really smart guy.
So funny. It would be a relevant comment from something 10 minutes earlier, but then when it would land, it would just be like, "Oh man."
All right, let's get this show on the road.
I was wondering how long that was gonna last. What were you saying, Drew?
Yeah.
No, I was just curious if you still hear from Bobby.
No, not so much.
Yeah.
He got married and stuff.
Well, that happens.
Oh, I love that song. If he
You're right.
dies, he dies.
It's the final countdown. I only knew that song in the 7-second compilation CD commercial for a long time. And then I saw the whole song, and I was like, "Oh, that's."
I'm sorry
Oh.
if we win this. I demand the final countdown be played at the end.
That's
I'm
something
gonna
that
have
could
too many
possibly happen.
lights on.
I don't know, but I was having a lot of fun this week, just like with my daily "you're gonna die" gift. Like I gotta find another one for the day.
Yeah, it's been building up too. Like, talk about crescendo. Not my favorite.
I have to give it up to Scott, your first time gift from
First time.
that was from those were all those vignettes that were done.
Yeah,
What was the name of that movie? It was really good.
the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yeah.
Enjoyed that one. All right.
We're all gonna perish in this godless land.
All right.
Wait, what is giving me this light? Is it my monitor?
Yeah, your monitor is on with this weird like Mario Brother thing going on.
Oh, back here.
Yeah, perhaps it's Valhalla calling you.
It is El Chalten in Argentina.
Well, to bring it into focus here, let's see. We had a really nasty turn of events from last time round. Everything was going fairly okay up until the point where fucking GIFs, man. Right until the point where Avathra managed to completely compromise the mind of the majority of friendly troops, save for the bots.
And the angels and...
Yeah, for whatever reason, and the Fae also seem to be unaffected as well.
We have the Fae, the angels, and the bots.
Demons also counted in that mix because you have the, demons rising and angels falling, and those two groups were unaffected apparently. Stop. We're at war. This isn't supposed to be cute.
Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky.
I know, right? Crap. Alright, well, okay, yeah. So, if you remember, everybody had managed to collect themselves together, like, at a central point. You've now got a circular phalanx that's sort of trying to block out anybody from getting in at you, because there was enough of a disturbance at this point. Violet is an unknown factor at this point. We don't know if she's going to turn against us or not. We're also uncertain as to the condition of Richard exactly. We haven't seen him show up just yet, because he was part of the fight, but he's been sort of off on some other flank trying to maintain it. And the general is trying to observe everything tactical from up top the APC, and is actually at pretty severe risk, given the fact that there's a lot of like really heavy gunfire going back and forth between all the APCs and major vehicle weapons. In short, one hell of a clusterfuck. Yep.
Yeah, quick questions here on just sort of layout here. Is Riv still off battling things? If I recall correctly, Riv had thrown the golem out on the field, and
Yeah,
I'm actually going to be drawing the...
She'd pursued
golem's near you
Averthrol
guys.
herself, yeah. And
Yeah.
the golem
But
is headed to
Riv-
Europe.
Riv is still, if I recall, I had Riv at about 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from where, from
and-
our initial goal point, yep.
Yeah, and then if I recall, Dravis is out front of our phalanx. He's leaving it out with Colt and Barrack sort of coming in, and Ivar in the middle going like, "What's going on? Like, I don't understand."
Well,
Yeah.
I just got mine back.
Well, Ivar, the last motion that I have, and I have huge asterisks, is that I succeeded at putting up a 200-foot dimension psychic shield.
Yeah.
To basically buy us some space, but ultimately each week I redraw the battlefield. That was our battlefield at the end. Those arrows were us getting screwed.
Yeah, so the group right now is actually sort of in a hodgepodge collection, not really a formation, and we're surrounded by like fallen angels and demons, and trying to kind of like reconnoiter and get ourselves back on track because Averthrow is still a threat. The only person that we have right now that is outside of that particular ring would be Riv, who basically ricocheted her ass directly at the enemy, sent the golem the other direction to more or less assist. So we have a golem to help us out, but we've got Riv at the other end basically doing her own thing in the middle of all this.
Oh, and I activated my shield.
Yes, you did.
I was just like trying to figure out, like, what did I roll? What did I do a will
And-
check for?
And Violet is out in the... Violet left position and jumped down into the crowd, if I recall.
She jumped down from the APC, she's behind the crenellations that were being used as cover, and she was walking towards the mass of enemies. We don't know what her plan is.
Got it. And is it safe to say that the ogres and our troops that had basically turned on us do we know their state yet, since Ivar's thrown up his shield?
They're still in amidst chaos because they are fighting one another, so it's one of those things where it's like it doesn't seem like they're all fighting the main group, but you can't really... So Ivar won't be able to tell from eyesight at all. First of all, he's kind of snapped behind a whole bunch of people, and the tactical situation's got to be addressed by the general, but best of your knowledge, you know that some at least are firing at you guys from wherever they are in a very chaotic sort of way, but you're being surrounded again by this onslaught of clones. So it's a matter of, okay, right now you guys
They're
can't really
10-foot
operate
clones.
very well from where you were.
So
They're big
are
clones,
we
too.
like this, or
It's kind of like that, yeah. Like I said, you guys are surrounded in a ring of fallen angels and demons that are trying to keep the primary element of the enemy away from you.
got it? Or is it like this?
With the shotgun.
That was a great scene. He just walks out of the crossfire and starts firing. That's all you, Bear. Okay, thank you. I have the lay of our evening's cluster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's basically what you've got going on there. Everybody's sort of surrounded, and you've got the enemies on all
And the
sides.
poor general, I don't know if you see it, the general is way, I don't know where my finger is, right there
Yeah.
by himself.
Well, and he's kind of staying low and ducked and trying to keep himself together for the tactical side of it.
And I don't know if the child is still out. Let's do
The
it.
last big thing that Cult did was basically just whisper bad men, and then Buddy did his.
Oh yeah, to the child.
Well, he
Okay,
whispered.
so there's a demon here, right? Like we see the demon like staring over my shoulder from the opposite end of the room.
I see it. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Let me know if it moves. It's like you do the face recognition and it's like 400 years old, angry.
Yeah, that was got such a great picture.
Freaking terrible. All right, well,
Is-
yeah, so that is the present circumstance, and I think we end it on the round seamlessly, like we were supposed to?
Yeah, Ivar was the last to go.
So that means that Riv is
so-
right there in the middle of it, charging after Averthrow herself. Yes, indeed.
What's my current? Well, because last time I had landed on something and destroyed it, but what's going on around me?
You're just surrounded by enemies and charging directly at Averthral, who is this hulking mass of mouths, tentacles, and eyes. Because he's basically whipping, lashing, and you can see the clones are emerging from his body. So you're gonna be on top of him easy before too long, because where you landed was close by anyway, and you happened to land on one of the on one of the creatures that he was ejecting, which is where they got splattered, and then you basically were just charging. By the way, you're charging straight through them, even though they're trying to grapple, grab, and do all that stuff. the sheer force of strength, not to mention your invulnerability, makes you just go bang, 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 like you're just going right through them, and you don't even register the impact. What?
I'll be your Huckleberry.
So I've got risk versus reward, but I think I'll just go for not the risk this time, because I could roll one of my runes, but then I'd have to give up one of my powers if I didn't land on a
How many runes do you have?
I have 5
How many
left.
runes do you have? 5 left. Okay.
Yeah, but her power is that she can maintain 2 auras at the same time: the Iron
Oh, very
Golem
nice.
and the diamond skin that I have going on are my 2 auras. But I can use skills that are quantity type, like my fireballs. But yeah, that's a high risk.
What's our luck situation? Riv still has luck.
I have
Eric
7
has
luck.
3 luck.
I got 10 luck.
I have ours.
I-
I have ours.
I am 0 SFR, great with luck.
Where's Barrack at?
3 out of 6. So I'm good.
How's your ammo?
Well, here's the thing.
We don't
with
talk
my-
about ammo.
With my plasma, I've got another burst of 30. But that's it with the plasma. Everything else, I'm good. I'm out of rockets, but
That was fun anyway.
everything else, I'm good.
So in my head right now, we are surrounded and we're all on comms, like trying to talk things out and see
Yeah.
how badly we're
You're
fucked.
basically you've got generals shouting tactical, you've got Barrack trying to assert the situation. Like I said, it's an absolute clusterfuck. It's just chatter everywhere. And being surrounded on all sides like that, the only thing is that Dravis is going to have to start moving everybody to a more secure position, but that doesn't necessarily exist. The only place that has any true cover is towards the APCs, which currently are hostile. So it's one of those things where it's like he's at a bare knuckle situation where stay where they're at, work the phalanx, find the target, or find cover. Really the only thing.
If you give me cover, I can get us there. You got to give me a location. I will transport the group to best ability. But otherwise, we are fucked.
Riv is just going to be screaming that she's got eyes on Big Ugly.
Yeah, that'll be
And I've
coming
got
in there at
the
some point.
T-shirt cannon for whenever.
So, can you describe Avathal? I mean, I know you said he's spawning clones right now, but can you describe what it looks like and what it's doing?
Stand by.
Mountain.
I've described him before, but
Well,
So it
I
has
think you said
a-
that he had changed his.
he's always
After-
he's sort of mutable, yes, but that's kind of the point. But I am going to, here we go.
7-foot tall pink bunny rabbit, played by Bruce Willis.
So I look up t-shirt cannon,
Uh-huh.
and I find something I wasn't expecting.
Not what I pictured Aberthal like.
Oh, that's terrifying.
How many enemies are between me and him?
Many.
I'd have to go through.
You'll just plow right through them. They're completely cannon fodder at this point. You don't even have to worry about them. Like I said, they're smacking up against you, and it's doing nothing because, again, your strength and your invulnerability are literally making this impossible for them to stop you at any point. And you're moving so hard that they're not going to be able to, even get you around the waist to stop your momentum. Because you're
Okay.
boom, 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 boom. You're freight training the whole way through. I mean, if
Okay.
you've got eyes on, there's nothing between you and it, basically. Even though that's not physically the case.
Right. Oh, you know what? I'd given up my shield gauntlet,
Yeah.
so I just have my attack gauntlet, basically.
Right. Your shield gauntlet was
Although-
a good choice to give up because you already had your defenses up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just trying to go through my repertoire of skills here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for a haymaker.
I was gonna say, this is pretty much your moment to basically be balls out Superman stupid with whatever move you pull next.
Yeah, I think what I'd like to do is do the haymaker onto it,
Mm-hmm.
and then with my second melee attack, unload my magical bolts into it, like point blank, because I don't want to have to aim.
All right.
So my first is just a straight up melee attack.
Colossus is a good reference.
Yeah.
Are you doing this straight on Averthrall, or are you doing this on Averthrall's minions?
He's doing it on the entity that I just posted a picture on. Because
Oh,
Averthrall...
perfect.
So imagine those gaping mouths, though, enlarging to massive size and regurgitating out the clones. Like, that's how he's able to produce, because they're just shifting and moving along the body. And like a candle flame or any kind of, like, fire, they're just moving up constantly. And as they kind of move and shift, so too
Got
the
it.
clones emerge from out of it.
What the hell is this from?
That's from Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
God.
That's when he's fighting
Dude.
the Kryptonians.
I,
Zod's
I'm
army.
trying to think
I
if saw
loved
that's
that woman.
The Cavill one?
Mm-hmm.
I loved that woman in that show. Like, she stole the show for me. Absolutely. Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, she was absolutely phenomenal. I loved the way that she
Yeah,
was.
that's perfect.
Okay,
So that's Riv.
So
Yeah.
my my first attack, my first roll is my melee attack, just doing the haymaker basically. The second 3 rolls with the exploding dice is my melee or my bolts,
Nice.
Okay.
and I did have one exploding 10. So
Good job.
All right. So, to lay this out properly here, you've got Riv, so shitstorm amongst the group as they're trying to reorient tactically, and you've got Riv after just landing on top of this unfortunate enemy, splattered with gore all the way up from her legs to her chest, and she's running along. This stuff is just peeling off like ash, but she goes running so hard that she's just bouncing off of all these other entities as she's moving through it. So she creates this straight beeline right through all the enemy forces, crashing into Averthrall. He tries to like whip and clash with some of the tentacles that are kind of flailing up on top. And you got a, what was it, a 21 for your actual like haymaker?
no, I got 33.
33 for your haymaker? Okay, it's up above that. It just had the new line. It distracted me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and keep in mind that it's a focus skill, so I have the difficulty rating is down.
Right. You're
well.
actually able to dodge penalties for anything else that might be going on for anything like that. Yeah. Yeah. So in this case, you managed to literally come through all of the various whipping tendrils of Averthrall as he's trying to stop your immediate entry. Fails to do that, but only by slim margins. You come crashing straight through the tentacles into its main body, and you don't really do as much of a full haymaker as a full body version of a haymaker, because you go slamming into it with the fist and everything else. There's even spitting rock as you rip up the bottom of the soles of your shoes, and there's stone coming out from the amount of like inertial like deference that comes with it. The impact makes this loud thunderclap. Oh my god. That's crazy. Yeah, so this impact is like stunning even to your own ears, and it causes Averthrall to shift move because you actually hit something solid. Hit something solid and causes the body of Averthrall to shift over. But you can see that there is obviously an explosion of some kind of proto-matter of some kind or another. You don't really know what it is because it doesn't bleed like a normal creature would. But the impact is there. You can hear all of the mouths kind of sailing up in this screech as you've made that impact. And then, of course, whenever there's distance, because you were successful in that, you start launching your bolts.
Yep. And then, so the first one was 21, the second one was 26 plus 4,
30.
so 30, and then the third one was 21.
Yep, I see that. So, the bolts make impact. You can tell that there is some more damage dealt. And then you're basically like this, and you guys get sort of locked into this frame where you're now circling one another as this thing is trying to whip and reconnoiter itself. So, hell of a
Definitely
good
keeping
start.
it occupied.
Yep. You're super,
quick-
you're super brawling like a master right now.
Quick check on how much damage we have done to him.
Well,
My melee damage, I know how much my magic bolts do. They do 64 per hit. But, let's see. Do I use my hand combat modifier, or how do I figure out how much damage my actual like haymaker did?
Well, in this case, what's your D mod when you have the strength that you have?
7.
What's your body?
It's at 13 right now.
It's at 13. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And if I
does that make sense?
It's also +5 if you equate it helping my movement, the exosuit. So it's actually 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 18.
18.
It's 18 if I. If
Oh right,
it's
your body's
included.
18. Yeah. Have to. Yeah, if you have the CRB open, you can see what 18 body would actually give you in terms of your D mod. It's going to be pretty high, but it's your D mod plus whatever your actual melee skill rank is combined, and then whatever forces that are involved with that.
So my D mod is 12 with the 18 body.
That sounds about
and
right.
my rank in melee is 8.
Right. So that's like 20 points all by itself, which isn't anything to sneeze at, even though it seems like a minute amount. I mean, you've really crashed into this thing.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Because my estimates right now is we've done somewhere in the range of 4,000 plus damage to this mother.
The actual rockets were about 2,500, right? Because when you guys hit him with 4 rockets at such elevated points, there was 2,500 damage there, and then afterwards, and the core was what you were aiming at, so the rockets really would hit it there. This is the first impact against him specifically that I've actually seen. A lot of the damage has been surrounding like a lot of the clones, which don't seem to have any particular effect against the central beast. Alright, but...
Got it.
Yeah, and then... I mean, you guys have almost done 3,000 points so far with where Riv is at right now. Like, easy. Done so much freaking damage.
Okay, thank you.
Alright.
That'll do it for my turn, though. I did my 2 melee actions.
Yep. Alright, so... Colt, you're basically ushered back in. You have the child pushing him back, kind of looking back and forth, trying to make sure that everything's okay, obviously. And then you have, I think it's John that's out there, because you've got John, the general, and the child, right? Or is it the bastard?
Yep. It's the John and the child and the general's in the background.
Right. So you're up, because this is your...
General's going to do tactical.
Yep, do it.
Damn.
That's a good tactical. Huh?
You're in the wrong chat. You're no OC.
Yeah.
No, let him roll. Let him roll.
Yeah. That's fine. 33.
Actually, he was in the wrong chat. He should go re-roll that in the right chat.
Yeah. So 33 tactics.
Yep.
So basically the general is trying to see how to turn this.
Right. So first of all, you're not going to be able to stymie the mental control. That's an encounter. That's a lost asset. Period.
Oh,
so,
he figured that one out when he failed his rules. Yeah.
Right. But right now you're absolutely certain of it. So you cannot rely on any of the organic troops in this particular fight. So there's that. That's part one of the actual tactical roll. Part two is that with where they are right now, there's no real safe haven. They don't have cover. You're going to need to have Ivar probably construct some sort of physical cover from where you are to reconstruct the battlefield and the terrain into something that's going to be much more feasible, which he can do with a second's thought and keep everybody in the secure space. So instead of moving, Ivar should be like employing all of his ability where he can, not just to create the psionic damping field, which he's got up now, but to also create a terrain that'll be conducive for the fight.
You want Ivar to change the topography of the battlefield.
Yeah, because Ivar can. He can create a 200-foot radius in all directions, so a 400-foot diameter, like, worthy battle terrain where they stand so that they can actually start making defensive positions. And lastly, you need to know exactly where Averthrol is. While you've got Riv out in the background because the general's watching her go crazy, she's making impacts, but we don't have an airtight knowledge of where's the core, where we need, because where the rockets hit, we haven't heard from Void since then to figure out where the next target should be. Because she might be wasting her time and energy on busting up the big guy in the background when you've got the right-hand flank with the same kind of thing happening. We don't know where he actually is keeping the core of himself. So we got to get that figured out.
Yeah, the general's going to do two things. One, he's going to try to communicate with Void, and two, communicate with Ivar.
Yep.
And then John and the child are going to change
Okay.
because the Cowardly Lion and Mr. Bigsby are going to go feeding
All right.
to regain SFR.
Go feeding.
So basically, you just see John and the child just kind of warp and just change. And they're warping and changing as the block armor is encasing them. So it's kind of this like surreal effect as like, it's like, is it the armor that's changing them or are they changing? And then you just have this gigantic wolf, Mr. Bigsby. And then you have this lion creature, Cowardly Lion, just bellow out at the same time. And we'll deal with them feeding later. So that's
Right.
what happens is the general is just looking at the situation and going, says, "Ah, Ivar, you on the feed, son?"
Ivar's here, General.
Ah,
can we
fantastic,
do?
son. I need you to change my battlefield.
Do you have an idea what you would like, General?
Well, I want you to change the topography, the general landmass, to benefit small tactical squads. I want pillars. I want walls. I want you to build me a maze that only we can go through. You think you can do that, son?
I think I can do that. To get your idea. Would you like me to try and move us to higher grounds?
We are on the beaches of Normandy, son. Give me some barriers.
Where do I stand? Is this a hold for action, D, or is this Ivar going for the roll?
Well, this is actually kind of prep for your upcoming turn because you can't take any turn except for in the last one. So you can basically formulate whatever you want to do. You can create an elevated platform that's got various covered points with all kinds of labyrinthian, basically points, and labyrinthian specifically because if you lead the enemies towards the center, you can create death traps like that, so you can cause them to be focused.
We wanna. Just my thought here. I think I'm gonna probably do either a legend roll, or it's probably gonna be a legend roll with maybe a tactics to almost create the gates of Thermopylae, and force these things down so that they're coming out of some smaller numbers, but we're still protected by almost the shield, almost like I can create the topography as our barrier. So it's like I'm creating trenches, but trenches in which they're forcing to come down to us and we get the tactical advantage would be. And so what I want to know, does Ivar know enough about legends to know how that battlefield with an 18 and then mix it with a tactical roll to know how to create a two
So-
18s?
Right now, if you were to give yourself the best, first of all, you have to sever the fronts because you're surrounded on all sides. So your best option is not to go downward, but to go up. But up and
Yeah.
down have similar problems to deal with. So instead, you create this sloped, what do you call it? It's a sloped fortified point. And so
It's like a burr.
yeah, so it's
No,
it's gonna go up, but it's gonna have a narrow access point, right? The other thing is that the back will have a heavily fortified back area. So you'll have this slope coming up, a fortification that sits on top with all kinds of points that can be used for like ranged fire, as well as a point for combat, and then you have like the streams of these enemies trying to get up and in. So it leaves you with this kind of like moat and wall scenario, but it's going to be up high enough that they can't just hit the wall and then come over. They have to either take up the ramp that goes up to it, or they have to create some manufacture of something to go around the sides. And you want that backdrop towards the APCs to be really high and really thick, because that way it can stop a lot of the actual like heavy fire.
What I'm almost thinking is where we have a very strong burr that if things were firing into it, it's just absorbing it while there's a narrow entranceway, but still giving us an advantage point to be able to attack Aberthrall.
Yeah, that or anybody else that
is-
decides to try and come up and like stall you out because
And-
you've got forces to help.
And where the ramp is at, the ramp starts wide and narrows down so that at the very end, it's only a single person is moving up that ramp to almost force them into a closed situation. We just go into a grinding wheel.
Right, so not only do they get close, but you can tell, like, if the ramp narrows out and goes up, you create these pockets either side that can be hit on by whatever forces actually mandate fortification.
I'm thinking not only, like, the biggest spur and the most important one has Dravis and the Colt and Barrack and Ivar, but then wherever there are pockets of our allied troops, they have the same thing created, but maybe on a smaller scale.
Yeah, you can do multiple tiers, and then you could actually set up shot points or like wide field of view, like with ledges up top. Again, with that same back reinforcement, so that you're not getting pelted. So, it creates this kind of like oddly shaped sort of fortification with a rear guard fully reinforced, and then front ways of opposition.
Would my tactics at all give me any leeway on how to set the terrain around Aberthrall?
Well, in this case, Aberthrall is not even in your range. He's far back.
Okay. Fair enough. Ivar, after kind of doing these things, Ivar just kind of signals back to the general, I need time, General.
And I guess General signals the robots, and because he doesn't have control over the demons.
Right, yeah, you just basically send out various squad orders so that the bots can actually start taking, positions against anything that's hostile. Most of them are surrounding the APC you're in. They've also been storming the other APCs alongside you, so that the, those that have been overtaken can't fire at your position, knocking you out of your tactical point.
Okay, good. And then we're going to let the 2 feed.
All right. Just roll general attacks for them, because they're going to basically try and snag and eat, and that's basically just rampant brutality with the only one mission, regaining health or regaining SFR.
You're just going to hoover up the dead.
Yeah.
You need like a leech spell, vampiric cloud.
If he was a thaumaturge, that would be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Or an Aasimar.
Or using your new magic system.
Hint, hint.
Well, we'll get there.
Shadows 2.0.
Ooh, I like that 10.
Dude, you're just cranking it on that stuff.
Never mind.
30.
So 27, 27, and 29 for melees.
Well, 30 actually.
Okay, 30.
Yeah, because whenever you roll a 10 and get a 1 after, you just add the 1 to whatever your total is. It doesn't...
Okay.
So it's a 30, not a 29. But those are crazy numbers, man.
Yeah. And then essentially it's going to be wheel rolls against the target.
Okay.
So if it hits, then I have to do wheel rolls.
All right, so you've got 2 who are feeding on SFR. You've got Mr. Bixby, who is the werewolf, or the big bad wolf, and who was the other one?
The cowardly lion.
Ah, and they both have that same feeding capacity?
It's basically, you really need to see the Tiger King, by the way. So, basically you have this one lion who's just like grotesquely in the armor and everything else, says, I do what I want. And that nice little... Joe the Tiger King voice. But the thing is, it's kind of odd because you got that black armor, but it almost looks like the black armor and the shirt that's in the armor is a Hawaiian shirt.
Ah, weird.
Tacky.
Yeah.
So, like the Tiger King. So he goes, I do what I want, and says, gentlemen, you look tasty. And then they just go out and feed.
All right, so question for you. Choose one, high or low.
High.
All right.
Oh, he's high rolling.
Well, the thing about that is that the enemy was able to compensate because there was 2 of these guys coming after him. So the cowardly lion will actually get a chance to actually feed on his opponents. Mr. Bixby tries to go in and it gets completely stonewalled by a bunch of these things all at once, maintaining the distance and not allowing him to feed. they ended up rolling a double exploding crit, so they basically deflected that attack entirely. But
Okay.
Cowardly Lion will bring in some grub, so
So he has 4 devour.
okay.
So that's 40-10.
Yep.
What's just roll it, no target,
Fucking Kirby.
but no target.
I
right?
loved Kirby.
And what was that?
It's
yeah.
no target.
No,
right?
you're just rolling 40-10 to see how much SFR you pull back in.
Okay.
What? Oh, I see what you did. You added the exploding and stuff. That's technically 18, 22, 23 SFR.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So you have Mr. Bixby and the Cowardly Lion go rushing towards the front line as the ground is starting to shift because I'm basically preambling the terrain that's going to be pushed through. But you can feel the tremors going through the stonework as Ivar is beginning to work his magic, quite literally, trying to get this place to be refortified and using the general surrounding friendly units as the baseline for that. And you can feel the pressure of the enemy crushing inward as the sphere or the ring starts to get like kind of pinched inward. There's still massive levels of gunfire happening from all grounds. You can see that several of the enemies are trying to push through. Dravis is doing his absolute best to keep them off of everyone, shooting damn near in all directions, trying to maintain some kind of order. So whenever the line breaks, he's basically rushing to that point and trying to offer some assistance, and he can move quick. But he's basically just doing that, maintaining the line and making sure that things don't snap while you guys are in the midst of it. Scott, you are up, sir.
So, like I said earlier, Barrick's got like one more big flurry with the cannon.
Yep.
With the plasma. So I'm gonna hold that for now and really. Riv is toe to toe with the big bad.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How far away from us?
Where she landed, she's probably about 320 feet out, so still within weapons range, but not within running range.
No. I'm thinking more just to make sure she doesn't get cut off.
Right. She's outside of whatever Ivar is planning to do, but right now she's not even inside of the circle, the ring at all. She's like out there.
Okay. Yeah, the range on my weapons is not quite that far. I mean, my plasma rifle has a range of 600,
Yeah.
but
Ivar comes over comms and he's like, Beric, are you able to provide any support to keep everything off of me while I get this cluster going?
It's clustered.
yeah, I'm coming. And so Barrick's gonna go to a handgun, and he's got his shield bracelet, so he's kind of got a shield, and he is going to use that to his advantage and dart to where, and I can tactics roll to find the ideal location to set up to defend Ivar while he is crafting the battlefield.
Probably going to want to be up close. We'll see. You say you're going to roll tactics?
Yeah,
Okay.
gonna find my tactics.
Freaking Kirby, man.
So
What the hell is
20.
that from?
what? Kirby?
Drew.
Oh,
That last
true.
one, whatever that is. It's like a poor excuse for Falcon with the way he's using that shield.
That's great. I just found it.
Bad comedian shooting guns. That's what it says. I don't know what that is. So 20 on tactics.
Right, so tactically speaking, you're going to want to be close to the where Ivar is, because regardless of whatever's going to be happening, it's either going to be direct fire or it's going to be a direct incoming melee attack, and you need to be ready for whatever comes that way. So within a 10-foot radius of Ivar is a good point.
Okay, so I'm going to make my way
Jesus.
there, and
That's how I
Mode.
see the terrain changing. Sorry, Scott.
I like it. And mow down I got two rounds of 6 shots, mow down whatever I can in the interim.
Yep. Ooh. Alright. So, Barrick, you basically reposition, feeling that Ivar is going to be making things happen fast. You start doing a back step, kind of moving, watching where you're going, keeping the weapon up. You take several shots. There are multiple clones that kind of manage to push through. You happen to notice that on the opposite side of where you're coming in, there is a larger demon that's standing near Ivar also, so you've got 2 sides covered. And he's got this massive-looking bastard sword in his grip. And he's got the classic reddish skin, the double-pronged chin. He's standing almost like 7 feet tall, and he's got this like ratty-looking trench coat for the most part, but he's just keeping things going, and that subtle crown of horns that are up here. And so, but he can see that he's just like ear to ear grinning, having the time of his life, even though the hand that he's like carrying this weapon in is smoking. But you end up taking these shots. You can see the spatter mark as it makes contact. Each and every one of those shots will likely hit their targets. I don't think you've rolled yet.
Not rolled yet.
But I said I trust in you, given the fact that you have such. We got
Oh my gosh! Look
two
at these
wild, 2 wild shots, 2 wild misses, 3 wild misses. Wow.
So that's the first set of 6.
Right. You go 2
I'm
wild
wanting,
misses. Yep. 2 wild misses, then the gun jams.
Yeah. And then a 40.
Yeah. Which you end up popping the jam out, letting off one more shot as one gets really super close. You end up drilling it right in the head. And then you're out of your combat reload and off you go.
Yeah,
You
then I'll do
go.
another.
That just reminds me of someone who's good at something who screws up multiple times, just kind of shakes it, and then gets that perfect shot.
Oh wait,
God damn.
okay, I just did 2 crits.
Yes, you did.
Good fail. Okay, 1, 2. Let me just finish these out.
Damn, dude.
Okay, so 2 crits and then 2 1s. This is hilarious. So this is for the first crit and a 1.
All right.
It's still a crit.
And
Yeah.
second crit,
Huge.
6. Okay, so
It's huge.
yeah, so 42, 47, 32, 39, 33,
God,
32.
huge. Okay. This is how this is going to play out because you're, like I said, you're still backstepping. You finally get to your perimeter point. You've got one that gets knocked down. The weapon jams for a 3rd time. You know, like in the midst of all this, you manage to unlock it, get another shot off, then it jams again. But the thing about that is that those jam points allow some of the stragglers to come in real close. You've got one leaping up over the top and one coming down from the bottom, just like running on all 4s straight for you. And like those 2 crits are all yours to deal with. How do you finish those particular conversations?
Obviously.
Well, you know, I'm very aware that I've got this shield thing on my arm that I've never used that is definitely throwing up my dances and all that. So as I see those 2 coming, and I like finally like get the, you know, hitting the side of the gun, getting it to work, and then just like,
Holy
just like,
crap!
So I will get myself into position near Ivar and take out those 2 with those 2 crits to the forehead, and then, all right, Ivar, I do not like to run and gun. Let's keep you safe.
Right.
And Ivar at this
And I've
moment,
got my
if
shield.
you look at him,
Yep.
Ivar has completely stopped paying attention to whatever's around him. Like you can tell something's going on with Ivar, but Ivar is not in the battle anymore.
So Barrick, are you summoning your cop ancestors?
I figure that's Ivar, right? He's going full mentat. It is by the juice of vodka that thoughts acquire speed. Yes,
Use
I'm
of that, though.
summoning my cop ancestors. You see, police brutality going back for decades and decades and decades.
Oh my god.
From riot shields down to Viking shields, all the way through.
Yeah. Well. So you're holding
According to the
position.
description, according to the description, a bracelet of interlocking tiny shields that summons Barrack's cop ancestors. The lines of spirit form a shield wall of police shields from ages past and negates X damage based off degrees of success, and I had 5 degrees of success.
Right. So you're blocking like intermittently at least 50 damage like all across that line per segment. So you've got a lot going on there.
Love this song.
Oh,
Mhm.
it's such a good remake. Yeah, so I'm viewing Ivar as being the mentat there, downing his vodka to
All right, so you have this sudden spectral line appear, and you've just got, the various constabulary of, the spectral forces and these ideological, entities of protecting, those who can't, or just even,
Yes.
the idea of chivalry kind of thrown into an authority-type status, and they're all sort of half circled around the very side of where you're at, where you're most threatened. All right.
yeah, doing what I can to keep Ivar safe while he does his thing.
Right. I'm gonna roll 3 this once. Boink. Oh.
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
By the way, did you
Superbad is
guys
the best.
see Seth Rogen's lost like a ton of weight?
Dude, yeah. You
Yeah.
saw when he was rolling his own joints?
I was
Yeah.
like, wait, who is that? That guy sounds like Seth Rogen. Oh, that is Seth Rogen.
Yeah, it's intense.
I saw him at the he was at the Adele concert. I was watching it the other night, and it was like, Seth Rogen, you're looking good.
I always have that worry of like pancreatic cancer. Oh no, health and exercise, yay!
All right, so Ivar, this is going to take a lot of effort on your part. It's going to be a target 9, and I need an extended roll. While you are busy fortifying the area and keeping everything in its proper geometric form in order to protect and enable, everybody else is going to have to try and basically shield wall the shit out of it while you're doing that. Which means,
Is it Ivar's turn already?
yes.
Oh my.
Time flies when you're having fun.
So you let us know what
1
you get with
degree.
your extended roll there.
I'm on it.
Yep. And then for everyone else, Colt, because you're at the outside perimeter, you've got Dravis calling shots as best he can. The ground starts to sit there and pitch upward, creating the inclines and everything else that's going along with it. And he's just like, back up, like that, trying to get everybody to come back in. We have a host of angry clones coming right in at you. So let's see what we got going on here. I need defensive rolls from the two, the Cowardly Lion and Mr. Bixby. I need defensive rolls from Barrack, and I need defensive rolls for Dravis as well.
I guess we'll be doing some dodgy dodge.
Yeah. Oh, goddamn.
I'm gonna wait.
1 more to go. 8 degrees of success from Ivar.
That will do it. That will do it. Yep. Okay, so you're
make
sitting
sure
there
there was
breaking
no-
this huge sweat.
Wait, I apologize. It's 9 degrees of success. One of the
Mhm.
9 degrees of success from Ivar.
Nice. Very nice.
Nice, very nice.
All right, so,
I think it's just 9 and 9.
yeah.
Come on.
I like it.
Bixby manages to toss off the huge, ensembling crowd that had been trying to hold him back, throwing them aside and basically battering back and forth, just wild swings to keep them back. And he starts moving back along the same lines as Dravis. Yeah.
So as he throws them off, he says, "Back, peasants!"
Well, and the Cowardly Lion is able to move backwards as well without like suffering too much trouble.
It was that bitch Carol Baskin.
Oh my god. So, as you guys are pulling back, you've got Dravis, who's moving in. Mind you, there's that pitched incline. As you guys are starting to move backward, you're staying up on the platform. You're pushing them and going back at the same time. Dravis, you're just hearing the high-powered impact of his rune lock going off. You know, single shot, burst, like just going nuts. And he's just like panning it out like there's just blood spatter everywhere wherever he's pointing his weapon. And he's in the background, just sort of like that's screaming at the top of his lungs. He's trying to keep all these things back. In fact, there's like one that tries to get up. He ends up sticking his hand accidentally inside, like to the shoulder where a mouth emerges and grabs a hold of it. He basically just clamps down, hear a crunch, and just drills more shots into that and just like shakes it off and starts moving backwards. We're starting to push through, and then Barrick, you have another problem to deal with. It looks like there are several units in flight that are coming over trying to get the high angle ground, but you can see these clones are starting to sprout these awkward like wings almost as they're trying to adapt, and as everything is starting to rise all the way up, they are coming up over top. Some of the actual fallen angels in particular are starting to take flight to counter, but you'll see the stragglers as they come in. So you've got, what was yours? 23, yep.
23 and me.
Yeah. So, luckily enough, because of the way that your shield wall worked out, you basically just punch down, they go like this and pull back. Several of the sweeping strokes come across, you can see the illumination going across the shield, and it stops them from gaining access, but it's narrow. Like, you actually kind of feel the impact a little bit, like if they were, you know, if you didn't have the shield up, that probably would have been way worse.
I'd have gotten a haircut.
Yep. Easily. And to give everybody an idea, when Ivar's working, the ground itself becomes this massively granular sand-like substance that starts to it becomes soft at first and then starts to reform into its physical formality, being pushed back up and reshaping itself and then solidifying again. Basically,
that sounds like the sandworms.
In a sense, but in this case it's actually going from like becoming extremely granular to solid stone, so it's kind of going back and forth between those, allowing him to shape it and then allowing him to solidify it. This tower that you guys end up sitting on pushes upwards of almost 45 feet off the ground with this massive steep incline, and it narrows out, severing any chance of like concerted effort from the main entry point. It has several different areas up front which are sunken down behind walls and allow for angled fire from various troops, whether or they're going to be using some kind of like magical ranged attack or some kind of weapon. There are several like bots that are actually kind of clamoring in as this thing is elevating, and they're actually taking those defensive positions and starting to fire down into the crowds. You guys can now see over the top of this as there's like a halo of newly flying creature clones, whatever they are, trying to sit there and get some kind of angle on your top point. But the fallen angels are keeping them at bay, and then you're being reinforced by the demonic forces that are at wall side. And all these demons of wrath are just hanging there like on battlements at a castle and just smashing things down as they come all the way up, and anything from the front entrance. There's a secondary level where Barrick can actually take a sniper shot or something else if he can get the ordnance. It just kind of depends. And yeah, I mean, you guys have got options now from where you were compared to what you had going on. But then you have Ivar, who I need to actually do the first ever, because if you remember we discussed this, we were talking about like resistance checks and so forth. We're going to try out a mechanic. I'm calling them essence checks. So I want you to roll your body as a die pool, and you're going to have a target 7 because you just exerted yourself.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to roll this almost like a will check, but instead I'm putting my body in
Yeah,
place
you're
of
rolling
will.
dice equal to your body, and you're going to try, and it's target 7, and you're going to have to make a certain number of successes to stop yourself from becoming super fatigued.
For our viewers, this is something that was discussed earlier this week in the World Building Forum.
Woo!
-2. Is this an extended roll or is it just?
It can be an extended roll because that's the one thing is that you can try and push yourself to go beyond where you're going. So yeah, you can try it.
Oh, 2. Oh, and a
So
crit.
it's 0 now.
But also you have a crit.
Yeah,
on the
he's
exploder.
get to roll one more d10 to see if he gets another success.
I'm up to
Yeah.
1.
Yep. I just noticed the My Hero Academia in there.
4.
It's a good combination with the ball tickle, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Ivar's gonna go full Master Roshi.
5. 6. 7.
Okay. So you're
Damn,
you're
son.
2 over as far as an extended roll is concerned. So you know you've expended a huge amount of energy, but you're actually sustaining your level. So you're stable, but pulling maneuvers like that again and again and again has risk of becoming even more difficult.
I want to put that in my notes. You're calling this an essence roll?
An essence check, yeah.
Essence check.
Yeah, the reason why is because what I figured out, what I realized it's going to be is that if you roll a stat or any other type of attribute like that, you're rolling the very essence of what you're trying to, like, whatever part of the body or whatever stat is, that's the essence of it, fighting back against some other force. That's the whole point.
It's the balance out of the magic. So it's almost Ivar's trying to do extended rolls. Those extended rolls are coming at a cost.
Right.
Your
No, I like it because it
mouth
limits.
is writing checks that your body has to cash.
Well, no, it goes to a very idea that we were talking about the other day. I realized Ivar has no check on his abilities. They're theoretically limitless.
What's with the demon frog in the visualizer? Oh, it's gone. I looked at it too soon. Hypnotoad. Yeah, so that's the mechanic we're thinking for things like poisons and other stuff like
Yeah,
that. To try
because
and
you can
shake
declare-
off and
Roll an essence check based off whatever stat seems relevant, and then you would roll the
Yeah.
essence of that stat to combat some kind of condition or situation.
I like
No,
it.
I like it. I like it too. I think it's a really
We all
good mechanic.
I like it so far. It definitely gives the element of risk, and which is what I need.
So, I just out of curiosity, Ivar had failed at what happens?
If he had failed it, he would have become exhausted, and the structural integrity of the structure he made would have been a little weaker. They would have been able to puncture through it because the creations he has rely on him to stabilize, and if he destabilizes, so does everything else.
Got it. That's a good logic. And just so we know, here is now the topography of the group with a nice little burr right there, with nice layer. We almost have a tiered defensive position.
Okay, so that puts us back to the fisticuffs or confrontation between Riv and
What about
Aberthrol.
the Iron Golem?
Oh, the Iron Golem is basically with the rest of them keeping the line. I can put in a little bit of a vignette for him. I rolled for him a little bit ago, as part of the Allied forces, and so he's
Gotcha.
doing well. So he's keeping things along with the Demons of Wrath in particular, which is a fearsome sight if you think about it. But right now, just before you start to get to the point where you re-engage, there's this rumbling sensation. You're sort of stuck in the middle, circling your opponent. Out of the corner of your eyes, you're coming around. You see this mass fortification just emerge from where they were standing, where you're all, and you can tell that most of your friends are actually still there, which is a start.
So what's Ivor Thrall exhibiting?
Anger, frustration, glee, some kind of a bit of lust thrown in there a bit. All of those things at once.
Excellent.
And so he's got the mass whippings, and he's, like I said, try to imagine the flesh reacting like rapidly furious fire. Like the way that it moves, it's not like he's actually moving with limbs. It's almost like he's just shifting across the surface as if the body were like a liquid fire, but it's solid flesh. It's really disturbing to watch.
Gross. So, can I put in a Vi with the gauntlets for you?
Yeah.
Like, that's Riv.
That's happening tomorrow. Or
Ugh. All this crap is happening so well right now. So, yeah, right just before Riv is going to... So you're getting the assessment of the situation. I'm kind of give you like the heads up. Void, because the general himself was like trying to get the tactical point. Void will come back in and more or less try to indicate what's going on, or to do something a bit more severe, actually. Let's see if he can pull it off, because he's the only one that's able to track what's going on here. Ugh. I got to roll for the... So, he gets inside of your head, Riv. You're still, like, right here, basically fending yourself against this creature. And you suddenly get inside of your own mind, because Void's been in there before. You start to get this, like, otherworldly view of the combat in and of itself. And you can see this zone that he's indicating. He's like, there. Go there. And you can hear him, like, he's ragged. Like, he's trying to hold all this shit together. And it looks like he's kind of expending himself pretty harshly.
And where is there in relation to me?
So you're facing Averthrall, you've spun out, so now to your left you have the group and all of the armaments that they have just grown out of the stone. If you turn a little bit further, like on your heel, turn a little bit more to your like 11, almost 10 o'clock, and head that direction, and about 100 feet, like, you know, you'll be basically wanting to get in that position. Because that right there seems to be where Averthrall has cast the core of himself, and you're going to need to find where he's storing it. But it's in that general vicinity, and you can see it shifting and moving, but it looks like Void is trying to give you a heads up.
Oh. Excellent. Okay. So she's looking at him, and she kind of like, what she's going to do is kind of feint to like start running.
Mm-hmm.
And if he was eagle-eyed, he would notice that one of the runes started to glow. And then she's just going to... she activates teleport. So
Oh, shit! Why the shit? Why does she always get the right crap? My God!
Because it's Riv.
Well, I was,
Every
you know,
fucking
honestly,
time.
I was hoping to get the super strength so I could just punch my way over there. Like, just punch the ground and just like...
Right, but...
This works.
Yeah.
So
I almost see you doing that teleport where you get high in the air and you just drop it.
Well, I've got 3 teleports. So my first teleport, it's line of sight within 500 feet. And you just said it was 100 feet away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to be like, huh? What do I see the second I emerge from that point? I'm going to play the whatever circle that I saw. I'm going to emerge like just outside of it. So I'm running into it, basically.
You appear in the mass. So so you still have the invulnerability active, like you didn't drop that, right?
So the loophole in my own powers is that I can only activate 2 auras at the same time.
Right.
But I can maintain a quantity spell. I just have to use them.
Oh, okay. So you don't have anything lost. You just get the tacked on teleport.
That was the risk I was talking about earlier.
You gambled, man. Holy shit. God damn. Wow. All right, so you're like that. You appear at the zone that you need to be in. It's a mass of these clone type things rushing towards the main front. You, of course, appear right in the middle. You're just getting binked as they're kind of moving along, but they're kind of flooding out. So you're just kind of like getting shuffled around a little bit. Yet there is one in the midst of this crowd that is keeping low and is moving in slower motions, but not getting any closer to the fortified part of it. It's not doing that, and whenever you start to look at it, you can feel the uncomfortable sensation of Void kind of giving you insight as to what's happening. You can see the subtle green emanation off of the body, and it's basically him. He's lasing the target for you. So you can actually see where Averthrall's going to be hiding the core self in and amongst these clones. He was using the big bad nasties as complete diversions.
Z targeting.
Yeah.
Navi's giving you Z targeting.
Okay, I need to do a tactics roll. So she appears, she sees that, and in the now it's like slow down because like I need to. I have an impulse, and I think it's a really bad idea. So,
I have no idea what that is, but I can't wait to find out.
let's see if tactics tells me that's a bad idea. Let's see. Okay, it's a tactics of 4. So I'm pretty sure that I can move things if I grab them and teleport, right?
Yeah, if you can basically teleport something you can hold on to, but an object or individual, and that's it.
And this is an individual, right?
Yes, this is technically considered an individual. Yes.
Okay.
That's why you don't appear naked when you teleport.
So yeah, comes with it. So I had 2 thoughts, and this
Uh-huh.
is where the tactics
my God.
diverge. My first thought is I have 2 teleports left, so I can teleport to it, grab it, and teleport somewhere else.
Yeah.
The first thought, my first immediate thought is, let's just take it into the middle of our group. Just pummel it. The second thought is take it 500 feet into the air and fucking meteor drop it.
Well, you could do 500 then 500 and literally be 1,000 feet up and just go.
Well, I have to teleport to get to it though, because I'm not. Am I close enough to run to it?
Yeah. Like I said, you got into the zone. You teleported to
okay.
the epicenter of that zone. He couldn't determine where, but then you saw the overlay and you're like, there it is! Like that, you just had a little a peak point. You're really lucky that Void actually managed to get inside your head that one time.
Yeah. I got a little background voice. Okay, so quick math.
Yep.
Oh wait, I'm invulnerable to kinetic damage. I was just. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
No, that's even. So. Let's see.
Oh, damn.
What?
Holy shit, I can't believe that actually happened, man. That's
I
ridiculous.
was just looking for like a gif of someone like throwing something down, but I saw that and I was like, what?
He did throw something down.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You're not supposed to put your feet on the rim.
Yeah. So
But are you?
Riv is going to like she's basically in full on rage mode right now. I mean, she's got a
Yeah.
lot of adrenaline going on.
Yep.
So just imagine that through your comms you're gonna hear screaming. It's like, "I've got him." That's all she's gonna say, and then she says, "Look up." So she's going to grab him and basically do this kind of motion, teleport up. And then when she does the 2 teleports 1,000 feet in the air, she's gonna say, me!"
I have to. I. Jesus effing Christ. Hang on. This is the most psychotic. Hold on. I have to do fucking.
Math. E10 per 10 feet.
That's gonna be all of my
What's the terminal
all of
velocity
my
of an
movement.
outsider?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm
Multiplied
trying to.
and divisible by the
I
land
want to be
speed of a
punching him all the way
sparrow.
down too.
And
I almost feel like at this
I've already
point
just
we
makes
all,
a
need,
spike at the.
we all need to just open fire
On the open target
We all
in the middle
Yes.
of the air.
at the target.
That's the thing, is that it's literally going to
once.
be open season on this thing as he's plummeting to the earth.
I've got 30 more shots with my rifle.
Oh, okay. So if you guys are gonna be shooting at it, I'm gonna have to ricochet off of it.
Yes.
You gotta
I've
tell me
already
that in the
done
next
that,
few
like-
seconds.
Ken,
Well,
look at
you're
your messages.
invulnerable, aren't you?
Well, I'm invulnerable to kinetic damage.
Okay,
You guys
so-
do other than kinetic damage.
So
It's good. It was nice to know you.
we're talking. So if you're talking about straight up fall damage, this is where it gets nuts. It is a D10 past like you go 20 feet, and then it's a D10 for like damage that follows. Okay, so unless you've got ways to mitigate that damage on the way down, but you can only mitigate maybe tops 2 or 3 more of those D10s worth of damage. You have 10 seconds of free fall. I just looked
Yeah.
that up. 10
Yeah, I just did
effing
too.
seconds.
So that means we've got 2 rounds of free fall. So I
Yeah.
guess I'm gonna be wailing on him while
Oh yeah, you're gonna be like, like just.
So wait, I have a question. If Riv hits the ground like that, is this going to do any damage to Riv or no?
She's not going to suffer a single iota of damage, not one. Her invulnerability,
immune
she's
to kinetic
immune to
damage.
kinetic damage. She could fall from 10,000 feet, leave a crater, and come crawling back out of it fine.
My clothes would probably be obliterated, but
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of damage to the external stuff, but you're okay.
so this is good. So we've got 2 rounds. We've got 2 rounds to figure out what we're going to be doing.
God damn. Always with the fucking clinch right there at the end.
I know. I never would have thought teleport was such a powerful ability, but there it is.
Yeah, well, whenever it's combined with the other shit. Christ.
Finish him.
Well, yeah, because I was like going like, okay, 9.8 meters per second calculated over like, I'm just like, screw it, I'll just figure out what a skydiver does. Yeah, 10 seconds worth of free fall. Jesus Christ.
All right.
Alright, so literally speaking, that's 100 d10 in damage by itself. So,
Just from the fall.
yeah,
How much is it again?
100.
100 d10.
100 dice, d10 dice.
Yes.
Jesus.
Put in the exploding.
Oh, Jesus.
Damn.
And then
It
you
did-
take into account that you can basically swing multiple times the whole way down while it's like flighting around. You're adding about another 50-60 damage just raw brutalizing on top of that. So that's like 581. I don't even need to have you roll because it's going to be so many different variables happening all at once, plus lack of leverage, but
We're gonna
tenacity
see what
thrown
happens
in.
in the next 2 rounds. But yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, at this point, everybody's on the fortifications, everybody's starting to get in positions, things are starting to get to a point where you can start making something manageable out of your shit situation. There is this thundering, cracking noise that's kind of happening near the fortification. You don't know where it's coming from, there's some flashes and such, but everybody that's on the fortification can't really see down below where this is happening. Regardless, you hear this like, I've got him, over comms, and you see this like, whoop, whoop, like that, and in the air, hundreds of feet out and away, but 1,000 feet up, you see the 2 of them just plummeting to the earth. Which means that anybody who's got a ranged attack that can make shit happen at that level can try.
Ivar reaches out and goes, Beric, would you like some amplification?
Nope. I'm good. And he's like in his spot. Like. So out of nowhere a bipod appears. He's like.
So, are you gonna take like aimed bursts while he's flying through the air and like allowing, like basically pulling off the stunt of basically going, okay, I'm gonna shoot this target. So she's gonna be plummeting out of the air, and I'm gonna just narrowly fucking nail this guy multiple times as he's tumbling out of the freaking sky.
It's just like and like let them just like gravity and accommodating the
Yeah, because it's the angle would support it once they get down enough, like 2.5 seconds or so. You're gonna start being able to make planned shots, and you can start making precise bursts, just like that, just to get him out there.
That's the plan. Hit that
Hit the
leading
same
shot,
spot.
All right,
and then accommodating for the shots are gonna start pushing him.
all right. This is an insane trick shot of a level that I've never even seen before. So even with your high rolls, they have to be exceptional, and there's a chance that Rib's still gonna get nailed anyway. So let's just see how you
Let
do.
me know.
And it's Colt's turn anyway.
Yeah. Colt, what do you got? Anything? Anything?
Well, yes. Well, the general just kind of bellows out, God damn it, son, if you're gonna do something, shut up or nut up. And all of a sudden, like you see Bigsby, like change into the Colt, and the Colt goes, cracks his head, goes, puts his hand out like this, Mother. And then all of a sudden you just see, like, just writhing out of, like, the flesh melting off as the Cowardly Lion screams. And Mother just erupts from his flesh and takes his hand and says, "Ah, my child. Are we going to play with them?"
Yikes.
And you have to understand that they're both encased in the black armor. So they are just full raw terror. And so we're going to combine their arites.
Mm-hmm.
So 11 arite.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Got so many
this is
fidget
what
objects.
we want to do. We want to perform a grand entropy curse
Ah,
on Avrothrol
got you.
to take the entirety of all the energy of the battlefield to use his own army against him. Like all that rage, the fire, the pain, everything, and target it internally with an Avrothrol.
Are you converting emotion into an energy form, like some kind of force of electricity, fire, cold, something like that?
Um,
I'm thinking of the Star Wars meme, like convert stress to electricity.
right. Well, I mean, that's the thing is we're gonna convert it into balefire.
Okay.
So the wheel of time balefire, not the demonic time. The type
Will that hurt Ken?
the type of balefire that will, well, I mean, he's maddened, so it's cult and mother. The type of balefire that erases something from existence. But
Like
that's
the
why
kind we're gonna see tonight for Wheel of Time.
I know, but it's
Tonight, you say.
targeted specifically internally within Avrothrol. So it's basically taking all the emotion, all the damage, the hate, the screaming, all of that, and channeling it internally into Avrothrol.
Damn, dude.
Well, you've got a 9 difficulty, and you're going to need 3 successes minimum.
Okay, so roll 11
Pre-roll
d10,
some luck.
explode,
Just preload
10.
it with luck.
fail 1.
This seems like a
Target.
good time to use
Mine.
that lookup.
Okay, so it's 11d10, explode 10, fail 1, target 9. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oof.
So, we are going to pump my luck into this.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pump. Okay, we're gonna spend.
So target 9.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna take one
Two
luck to get rid of that 1.
Yep.
We're gonna use another luck to pump that 8 to a 9.
Yep.
We're gonna use another 2 luck to pump that 7 to a 9.
Gotcha.
No wait.
Yeah, 4 luck, 4 degrees of success.
Well, right now he eliminates the 1, that's 2. Adds the 8 to a 9, that's 3. So that's the minimum requirement. And if you do a roll and add to one of your 7s, it'll have to be a 2 or better.
Okay. So then we're gonna add. So we're spending 6 luck total because I had 10
Okay.
for 5 degrees of success.
So how do you get 5 unless you're just boosting?
I'm boosting.
Spending 2 to boost it too.
Yeah,
Okay.
boost it too.
So,
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Alright. So he's got like 1 for the 1, 1 for the 8, and then 2 more, and then 2 more. Yeah, that's 6.
1 for the money, 2 for the show.
Okay, good. Because I had 10 luck, I want to make sure I got the calculation correct. So we spent 6 luck to get 5 degrees of success.
Yeah, that would do it. All right.
So you just see John and Mother like almost like a tranquil picture if it just wasn't so fucking creepy.
Seems like John in a nutshell.
Oh, perfect music drop.
Yeah, you beat drop us.
So yeah, you stand there. You have Mother. She gives you a slight gaze from the side of her eye. You guys stare forward. There is this pulse wave that goes out across, causing mass aggravation all the way out there. There is a cracking inside like leathermite whenever it's been exposed to too much sun on all of these clones. They become somewhat rigid, and the cracks themselves begin to seep some kind of like green ichor, but that's also kind of lit and fiery at the same time. And they start to writhe around from that same point. That shockwave goes outward and then upward. And you can see the sort of like a plume of it going on up, kind of like there was this invisible wave that took over and then hit a wall and brushed upward, and then being condensed in a small space. That fury of lack of oxygen and the rest of it causes this backdraft effect, making it swirl upward. And then, Riv, as you're in your descent, you've got this like sudden impact as the one that you've been bashing in becomes hyper illuminated for a minute, and you can see those same like crenellations showing up all over its body as it starts to kind of like writhe manically, trying to get out of your grip, but you've got a hold of it, and you're still just pounding it and tumbling out of the air. So 5 degrees of success is 50, and then you had the 2 arete on top of it. It's gonna be full arete on both, so you're winding up with like 110 plus 50 more damage on top of that, and then you have your total will, which is 10 anyway. So you're looking at 170 points of damage. It just got ripped up from the crowd and then up into that single target, because you're feeding it off of that and causing a conflagration to go up.
Yeah, and that's the thing is he's doing it, and its intention is to weaken the other targets too.
Yeah, well,
Which
they're going to experience like a physiological response to the emotions that they have, which is what you were using to basically, you're creating the conversion, and like I said, you're also creating a backdraft effect that goes up to your central target. So it was a 2-pronged attack, like not doing anything lethal, but slowing down the primary targets directly ahead, and then doing lethal damage to the singular target that you need to have. Which makes perfect sense.
You're making perfect sense.
Very cool.
All right. What the F?
Oh, their internal anguish is.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just laughing. I'm just like the GIF itself is like.
What I love about this is you just turn back on Averthral all that he unleashed on us back on him.
All right, and then Colt, here's the thing that I'm going to do at this point. I need you to make a sanity check, because right now, though that the inhumanity of the act is going to be kind of a bit shattering. So you're going to be at like it's your sanity minus 20%, and see how you do with that, and let me know how that goes.
So my sanity is 95.
Right, that means you're at 75%. And you have to meet or roll under.
So
A 1d100.
roll 1d100.
And roll low.
Oh God, 1 above the fucking mark. 1. That's awesome.
Spend a luck to drop it
Can
down.
I spend a luck?
You can spend your luck on anything. I can't stop you from doing that.
You know what? So I need to be below that mark.
Yes. You
What I
need to
just
be at
rolled.
75 or lower.
So I will spend a luck, and I am at 3.
Damn, dude.
This nearly broke you. This was the act that nearly broke the Colt.
Yeah.
Oh, Mother would have been so happy.
Lucky. All right, Barrick. We're at your point with controlled bursts. Jesus.
All right. So I've very much appreciated Ivar setting up this real perfect area, since he doesn't seem to be under immediate threat now that he's got his mission accomplished and can like defend himself now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a position, and as I hear Riv say, I've got him, and we just see this little pop, like I'm imagining almost like these little sonic booms,
Yeah.
and then the
Mm-hmm.
flip, throw, like pummel, like all that stuff. I start like lining up my shot. I'm thinking, he can't dodge. All I have to do is not miss. That's it.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
All I have to do is
not
then
miss.
I see these like rippling green flame come, rolling up the battlefield, and it's like when you have the airline and they're like lighting the path for you
Yeah.
to like guide you where you need. It's just like
He's
this
got the
big
runway.
green imager upvote like going down the runway. So I'm all stabilized. I've got the plasma out. I've got 30 more shots, and I'm gonna do 10 bursts of 3, like ta 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 ta, like that's. So I'm just gonna do 10 rolls, but the thought is I'm doing my 30 in a nice burst of
Yeah.
three at a time.
Yep.
So rifle's not as good as handgun, but still
Oh my good lord.
at a 29. So what's the deal with my arcane capacitor? Like I used it last combat. I don't know what the rate of use is for that.
Basically, you can charge one of your attacks with amped damage every
Okay.
round, because as long as there's magic to draw on, and Colt just
think
basically
there's a lot.
slung a whole bunch of it around, so you can basically eat up all of that ambient, like soon to be called resonance, but you can eat up all of that leftover ether that's going to be like drifting through the air and empower your first series of shots.
So I'll do that to start.
Okay.
So will check target 7.
And these puppies are going to determine exactly how much collateral damage Riv might suffer.
Yeah, sorry. And I get 0. And so I get one degree of success just from Iron Will.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which is enough that you just need to be able to throw it through. It means that your amp isn't that much, but it's something.
It's something. All right. So now
Every little bit counts.
that's the idea. Okay. So I've got 3 luck left, which I will be using for sure. But my martial arts is a 24. Rifle is 4. Okay, shot 1, shot 2, shot 3, shot 4, shot 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so
That's
I'm
30
gonna,
at 3-round bursts.
yeah. So then I'm gonna bump that fail. I'm gonna re-roll that.
Yeah, well, you have not very much luck left, but I'll do.
Oh, that's a hell of a reroll.
So-
Damn.
So I have 1 point of luck left, and so I got a 32, 34, 38, 37, 36, 32, 36, 31, 34, 33. And the idea is I'm tracking, going shot, 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 shot.
And you've got the rounds to do it in, too. That's
I
it.
have I'm out. That the last.
Right, what I mean
3.
by rounds, though, is that you actually have the time because of the amount of, like...
Oh yeah, yeah.
You've got the... Normally you wouldn't be able to do, like, 10 solid bursts like that, but...
Right, and so since I'm ranged master, I'm just that's like my whole everything.
All right.
Yeah. So and my range is AP5, range 600. So I'm within
Yep.
the range, I believe.
Yeah,
So-
and even if you weren't necessarily, because they're falling downward, you can project it across, just like you're talking about. It's a matter of just physics coming across. You just happen to be somebody who can actually make these shots because of your innate skill.
So insane.
All right.
I'm sorry, Barrick. This entire campaign, his shots have constantly astounded me with the number of the rolls. Just Barrick don't miss.
Well, it's because I was given some grace very early on to let my martial arts apply to ranged weapons in character creation. I said, I want gun kata as my martial art.
You would.
Oh, I should put.
That was one of
down
those
to one
training
mark.
courses they had in the academy that nobody took. Like, who the hell takes gun
Exactly.
kata?
No one takes gun kata.
It's so stupid.
So my shots do 60 damage each.
Yep, and you're doing 70 apiece because of the amperage on the first
And
sets,
they're-
and then
Burst of 3. And then I'm out. There's no more plasma. So we're gonna have to make a trip off world again.
all right.
Barrick's side quest to refuel his plasma gun.
All right, so she's plummeting out of the air, pounding him the whole way down. Massive green fire flame that's propelled by some sort of invisible shockwave, pushing it straight upward, causing this conflagration to go up and cause massive physiological damage to the entity that you're fighting and combating. And then a series of burst shots as she's like plummeting to the ground. In this case, like Riv, you'll end up taking what are your health levels right now anyway?
The granite or the diamond skin and granite skin doesn't. It gives me 65 full body magical armor, but other than that, I have I'm maxed out.
Bod.
Yeah, I'm maxed out, and I think I'm maxed out. I have 13 bod, and so in the health levels sheet, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All 9 are filled in with 5s.
Well, you also have the armor that you're wearing too.
Yeah.
From
I've got
the suit.
my normal armor.
Do you have any magical tokens or anything that up your armor as well?
Well, she's got the.
That
So she's got.
60% resistance,
She actually, luckily enough,
per se.
had laser ablative armor anyway, and because of the armor itself deflects like 75% of the energy that she's going to be hit with anyway. So.
Just a second. There we go. Just gotta make sure I don't lose.
So, your health levels are at what per health level?
5.
5, and you've
Yeah.
got all 10, right?
I have not. It's all filled. It's 9.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna kill Riv on accident.
you should have 10, not 9.
Well, there's only 9 slots. I don't know how far.
There's
it
10.
goes.
Oh, it goes to -9.
Yeah, it goes to -9, but you have 10 health
Oh,
levels total.
You're right. It's 10. I
Right.
just counted wrong the first time.
All right. So Riv, you're having the time of your life, right? You start to feel like points of pain as like there are massive energy bursts kind of coming out and they're, coming across. You're not getting hit by everything, but it's enough that you can tell that the plasma rifle is being fired in your general direction. But these shots are nailing this guy, and you're just kind of like tumbling out of the air, trying your best to just do whatever you can to cause damage as you come right down to the earth in and of itself. When you make that crushing impact, there is you actually lose the breath out of your out of your lungs, but not enough to actually cause you to be like unconscious or stunned. But you do the ugh like that is because there's still physical force moving through you. I do want you to make an essence body check, please, to see exactly how you can pull through, because the amount of residual damage that you took from that was pretty sizable.
What's the so the essence check is
That means that you're going to take
Yeah.
your body, turn it into a die pool, so it's similar to will. So whatever your body is right now, but here's the catch. You're going to roll 10d10, and your difficulty right now is going to be at like a 7. So 10d10, 7 is your target.
right because the max is 10.
Right. Yeah.
And then every
5
free body after that.
Every
So,
5
yes.
every 5 body after that you get an automatic success added in, but
So
you're
it's
only
10d10 target 7, you said?
Yeah.
Fail 1. Does this explode or no?
It does explode, yes.
Oh, shit.
Oh, damn.
I think she pulls through.
Yeah. So you are down to, like, you've lost 8 health levels, so you're at -7 because of the amount of residual energy damage. But you're just sitting there like this, and you're like, ugh, like, but your target has been pretty much like vitrified into the freaking crater you guys made from raw impact at this point, just because of the force. It's a crackling of stonework. Because it's not like a full crater, but I mean, there is definitely a minor depression, and despite everything else like that, what happens when that impact occurs is that you see the immediate dispersal of these clones and this kind of like breath escaping all across the battlefield entirely. Right? So you see them kind of like lurch like this, and it's almost like they get caught inside of water. So you're seeing like the clones kind of do this number where they sort of become partially flotacious, and then just start to dissemble at this point. Dravis is going to be like leaping off the edge of the fortification and headed straight to Riv's position, since she's clearly not moving much. You know, you're still alive. Vitals from, like the vital reports from everybody who has actually got Times Square marquee and the rest of it. She's critical, but not dead.
Silver cards don't work here.
Yeah, those ambulances can't necessarily drive their way in. Right. Okay. So Dravis is.
Where's Ivar in all of this? Is Ivar?
You're just
aware of
standing.
what's
You're like
happening
in the
to Riv?
tower, and you've just watched all of this happen because you're like holding the fortification in place for a minute, and then, like I said, the field just kind of disrupts a little bit as they were kind of flying downward like that.
So it's not
By the
like
way-
Ivar just all of a sudden throws out a teleport to try and save Riv.
Dayton, your sweater is very appropriate right now.
You even crit.
Yeah. Do you even crit? Hold on a second here. I think it's this one I want.
Yeah, da 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 da.
It's the final countdown. Da 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 da. Da 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 da
Navril
da.
Thrall stands up, and the Hellfire turns blue.
Oh fuck! Why? God damn it, Scott.
All right, so you can see them beginning to suspend off like that. Like I said, it's happening all across the battlefield. To give you guys an idea, this is like the amount of damage, because I had to calculate what all those bursts had to do all at once, and we landed at about this much in that burst damage. Okay, so
Jesus Christ.
right, and so 89% of that was directly impacting your main target, which left roughly that much damage to deal with. But because of laser ablative, you ended up taking 67 out of all that whole mixture. But because of the fact that you were tumbling and the rest of it, I could only target for some. I was like, if you manage to pull off an essence save, you're basically going to be stabilized at a minimum level, which is why you have 8 health levels completely gone. So it's like, it just went whittle down. Like, you got fucking lucky, is what that was.
Sounds like her. That
Yeah,
sounds
that's
like
Riv's
her.
MO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laying in the bottom of the crater, a little blood going out, goes, "Did we win?"
Yeah.
No, she would actually say, "Gotta catch them all."
Oh,
Right,
God.
there we go. He sure can in time.
All right.
Ivar, shoebox.
Right, so you're doing that, and the whole thing is clearing. You can hear some like ambient gunfire and spatter patterns in and around, but they're becoming sporadic and more staccato and less organized. It seems like the bots are basically taking fewer shots. Enemies are like vanishing off the field, so your hostiles are kind of going away. But yeah, you've got Dravis over comms. It's like, we gotta get this thing imprisoned now. So while he's rushing over to it, he declares, Dravis is basically saying, I'm going to get Riv and get her out of there. somebody take the shot. Basically, is all he's focused on. I think Barrick still has the prototype launcher for this.
Yeah. Yes. So I can move, cover a great distance.
Yep.
So if I don't want to like sniper rifle a t-shirt cannon.
How
Right.
far? How far are we from the target?
My sprint is 60.
Right. Well, and this
How
thing is
far
going
are
to
we
have to
from the
try and
target?
regenerate and recover. The target is roughly, if you're from where you guys are standing at, it's going to be close to your guys' 10 o'clock in that same position because you guys, it's going to be close to your 10 o'clock and it's going to be about 270, 280 feet.
So what
It's
is a
outside of my
sprint
range,
of
but I can.
60?
Ivar just sits there and goes, Beric, I can get us a portal and get us within 70 feet of it. Can you take care of the rest, and then we will put it in the box?
Isn't that the ideal range?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, Ivar's going
right?
to
'Cause we need
teleport.
time for it arm.
Yep.
So
Ivar
it's gotta
wants
have
to
never
teleport
evolution.
Beric.
Okay.
Beric and Ivar are basically going to get teleported down to within range so that we can pull this off, and then you
Yep.
see Ivar as soon as he hears shoebox, all of a sudden Ivar lights up and a shoebox is just like it's
The
there as if it's
shoebox.
always been there.
Okay.
What's Ivar's target to
This is somewhat
To
simpler. It's
teleport us.
7. You're open ground, can see the target point. Yeah, 7. Easy. And it's only 7 because you have to haul Barrick along with you.
Silly Barrick. Tricks are for kids.
Is he out of luck?
I have no luck.
Ooh.
Who gets
he's a
teleport?
little
What happens?
spent. He's a little spent from trying to, terraform.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this case, I need another essence check on the body to see how you do, because right now the exhaustion could be coming up and creating an issue. But you're also going to have to try and resist the outcome.
Chapter 46. Find Ivar in the Nether Realm.
What's the target?
Chapters 46.
It's going to be
So
target
close.
8.
Oh,
4 degrees of success.
That's good enough.
Well, okay then.
All right, so more or less, he gets you teleported there, Barrick, but it feels like your skin is ice cold, but the inside of your body's frying hot, and so you're just like, "Ah!" like that. It's really grotesquely uncomfortable. Plus, the structure that you guys had collapses completely, so you've got all the, that just kind of like shambles down into its granular form, just kind of coming into a pile, and just people are just trying to scramble and keep themselves from getting buried.
I'm thinking of like in Terminator when they like time travel and they come through and it's like messy and they're like naked and confused.
Yeah, kind of like that. It feels like that, at least. All right,
All right. So what do I roll for the?
just
the
roll
prototype?
rifle. Yep.
Okay.
And does Ivar? I don't recall. Does Ivar roll anything for the shoebox to actually fit, or is it just he opens it and?
He's got to open it up, and he's gonna stash the crystal if it's successful.
I'll spend my last luck and bump that to a
Ooh,
32.
okay. There it is, and you're like that. It goes like that. You see Dravis, since he had been running at that point, you guys were negotiating how to get there quick. Dravis hauls her out of the way. So you, like, Riv, you're just sitting there like this, and you're kind of like just trying to keep your eyes open. You feel somebody just come by, pick you up, surprisingly gently, actually, and moving you out of the way. But he's got you in princess care, and he's moving your ass out. You hear a doop like that after a minor exclamation of like, ah, like that as Barrick is moved forward into a very uncomfortable position. He launches the
Back of a
prototype.
Volkswagen?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's that? What the hell?
I got you, Scott.
Oh, chasing Amy.
Very uncomfortable place.
Right, so
Oh, wait, that's
yeah, he's so at this point you hear this thump like that as the noise comes across. The projectile lands nearby, and then I gotta check one thing. It's not from there. Oh, well, here we go. Okay then. There's this shocking light that comes around. At this point, you can hear the crystallization as this creature tries to fend it off. You can see, like, Avathrol sitting up and, like, trying to put himself together. His body is extraordinarily malformed. All of the other forms that he had, including the larger, more intimidating forms, have completely vanished. As he's trying to sit up, there is this crackling sound like air itself is becoming far too energized for its own good. You see him try to resist, and then this like sudden impulse as he gets drawn in, and it just goes whoop like that, and you can see that green tinge right there in that little crystal that's just sitting nearby. But there's just like that as he gets drawn into it, and then dead silence.
Wow.
You hear Ivar on comms. I think we're alive. Can I use my shoebox?
That's 2.
So you see, if you look where John is, he's still with Mother, encased in their black armor, hand in hand. And Mother goes, "Oh, you've done so well, children." And she just kind of fades away.
So everybody needs to make an awareness check right at this point.
Oh, goddamn it.
Of course we do.
Yep. Because
Thrall's big brother.
Big deck thrall.
Let's see here.
Oh,
My damage makes it so I'm at a -7, so...
Yeah. You're not going to be all that aware. You're a hurt unit.
Yeah, my awareness is normally +5, but because it's -7...
Yeah, you're at -2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ivar's at a 29. He is like ecstatically walking his way to his crystal. And what does his danger sense tell him?
Well, danger sense is actually fairly low comparative because everything had dropped down, right? Well, as a result of that, let's see here. You got 24 for Scott. We got Riv's 5.
Ivar has 29.
And 22 for, yeah, okay. So if it's above 20, you should be good. All right, this is a specific thing that's going to require Bill's full attention here, so I'm going to wait for him to come back. But you guys are moving along, and you can you don't know exactly what the issue was, like where you guys are kind of like panning the field looking for threats. You can see where Violet is because again she kind of like went missing from view. You've got Richard that's like all the way down at the far end. He's just kind of like hovering across and wearing the full cowl. I get up with the long, the Nodachi sword out to the side, coming back towards you guys. You can see that Violet is like coming back to herself, but around her person are these incredible like craterous type impact points, and you don't know what caused them or how she did it, but they're there, standing in the midst of that. And whenever you guys are panning across, oops, not that. That is not what I wanted. There we go. But you guys are panning across, and Colt in particular, you're kind of getting this like nagging feeling in the back of your head, like you should be paying attention for something.
Okay. With his awareness, how should he roll? Tactics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The answer is yes.
Using my luck.
Okay. Guys, go ahead and connect to the stream, guys, because I've got something playing here that's important.
Oh, shit. I mean, oh, shit.
Connect to the stream itself?
Yeah, you have to connect to the stream, not to...
No, he disconnected.
I'm sharing screen.
The sharing screen. He disconnected and reconnected.
Where's the screen share?
You should be on our faces you're looking at.
Watch stream?
Yeah.
Oh. That song. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Right. So
What is wrong with you?
So you're coming across, you've got this light breeze that's going across everything else. The field is silent. You've got, like, Violet standing there kind of getting back to herself, trying to figure out what's going on. You have Sebastian standing next to her, like, in a complete bow. Like, in total submission. And for a Fae, that means a lot. You've got Death himself, or Death's avatar, moving towards the group, and then the group happens to pan across out at the farther distance, and you can see this open corridor into something black, and at that far distance out, you have a very familiar face. You can see the golf cap, the subtle smile. There is a smaller figure standing right next to him, and he's got his hand like in hers.
Oh, motherfucker.
There's a little girl. You can see that her skin is pale, and she's got this smile on her face as well. And he's just sitting there. He's got like the old-fashioned suspenders, pulling up his slacks, and he just like takes his hat off and he just does one of these.
John is no longer encased in armor and is screaming. Just screaming more irrationally than any other characters have ever seen him. Like, you motherfucker! I will kill you! And he's just flitting epitaphs after epitaphs. You've never seen John this unhinged. And he's going like, I remember Germany! I remember!
And so he just picks up the girl, gives a smile, puts the cap back on, steps through that gap, that corridor, and just goes and disappears. And you're going to be probably pursuing the hell out of that.
You just see John. You see him using like the last of like his like he's got 12 Arete, so he's gonna use his 7 because Mother's gone. You just see John just like scream. And it's almost like watching the Flash move. Because he's using forces and prime to move that fast. And you just see this horrific scream reaching out to snatch Sinclair.
And he's such a great distance out that it's incredible. It would be an incredible feat, impossible to actually catch him. But when you arrive there, you actually have this scrawled note with a little, like a drawing of like a family all together, and it just says, "Come play with me." That's it. And it actually gives you it gives you an address on the side.
Of course it does.
How close is Ivar to picking up that damn crystal?
Oh, he's just like, boop. He's picking it up, getting ready to drop it into his thing.
Ivar's ignoring all of this. Like, he's aware that the crystal's on the ground and needs to be picked up.
Yep. Epic moment
and that's
occurs,
what he's focusing on.
And this is all we get. So, it's just... Oh, man.
That's what's
awesome.
playing in Ivar's head.
Yep.
Do.
4 sessions.
Yeah. That was a hell of a fight. And if... I didn't know how it was going to end. I never do. But, man, Riv always seems to pull it out of her ass. It's just sort of like,
Right?
oh, she's got the trump
Riv
card.
saved us.
Yeah.
God damn it! You
Riv,
fucking told
Riv
Sinclair.
already saw this
Jesus.
movie, and so
The best part is that we managed to play it out directly to the song, and it ended exactly how I wanted it to.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
yeah.
So pissed about Sinclair.
Riv is
I think
from
that's
a
brilliant.
month into the future, and so knows all the stuff that's supposed to happen.
That was brilliant. I did not expect us to come out of this one. That was just a brilliant tactical survival on our part.
I mean, the rules are what they are. Sometimes people get really miffed about like a fight being ended too soon, but I'm like, yeah, but that's the risk, man. If you get lucky or if the enemy gets smart, it's a problem. But if you do the same thing to it, conversation over. Like,
That's what defines our group: is we play smart.
yeah.
Well, in Riv's case, I just roll the dice and see what happens.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And then I use
Riv rolls, we play
Oh,
smart,
Matt
and then we. Yeah.
But yeah, I've been holding on to that little reveal for a while now because it is the last dregs. I've got something in the works for that, so we should expect all kinds of fun shit.
Oh, it's gonna get dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, but we just got the keys to the Silk Road.
That you did. That you did. A lot of crap going on there.
What's the body count? On our
In
side,
rough
at least.
approximation, the majority of your Orcish troops have been completely eliminated. You have about 30% of your robotic forces, 20% of your Orcish forces, and the angels and demons are like basically trying not to kill each other because they're presently at war, but they have been, ordered in by Death herself to stay, basically behave until you can go back to what you were normally doing. And so they are quickly vanishing into whatever portals are available using the
We're
Silk
seeing
Road.
like raptures from the, the ones that earned their spot.
Well,
So is it fair to say
Ding,
that?
ding, ding, level up.
Yeah, but is it fair to say that the Silk Road is actually now in danger if Violet's lost this many of her troops?
well, at present, she's still going to be doing okay. She might be at risk. Like, the Silk Road is not really much of a problem, but she might be in danger of, threats, having expended so much of her own resources. And,
She's vulnerable.
yeah, she's got shit to fucking deal with. At the same time, there might be other stuff going on with her as well,
Clearly.
but doesn't necessarily. Yeah, I mean, nobody really knows exactly what the hell happened to her. Kind of a DM sort of like I'm holding that shit for later. But as far as it goes, yeah, she's not necessarily in the best of positions right now. She's lost way more troops than she was hoping to. It was damn near a full rout. And if she's not careful, if it gets around that certain things have gone awry, she could be under threat. Parts of the Silk Road could be contested. So, yep.
Just a couple final points before we close this out. One, is there any IP from this? Did we earn any IP?
No idea.
You guys rocked
We lost
4
that.
fucking sessions worth of combat. Yeah. So, going across, you're looking at like 120 IP dropping straight down.
That's juicy.
Yeah.
Very nice. Next point of order is next Thursday is Thanksgiving.
Yes, it is. Fair
So,
point. And I'm going to have the
break
kids
time.
and I'll do all that kind of stuff. We'll probably be taking a break and not coming in for that.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
I
do we
think
want to
we
break or
earned,
do we want to?
A break. We
break
just
is
did
good.
a 4-episode arc. We can take a week and then come back for the Christmas special.
This is this is when you read any story. The book
it's a
ends.
very
We start a new
Sinclair
book.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Very Barrett Christmas.
This is where you end it and you go now into book 3.
Yeah.
We'll do the
That seemed
bottle
like a good.
episode.
Like if this turned into a book, that would have been the end of it.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I
Just end
wanna
with
I wanna
Paul,
get
like-
Drew's notes,
Yeah.
and I want to work with D in making this into a story.
Yeah, we can start pushing it together. Absolutely.
Well, if you figure, if each of these pages is 20 pages of writing, I have over 50 pages of notes.
Yeah.
There's a whole story here, and I've even been playing in my mind the whole story back through. It's a brilliant story. Starting on the streets of Night City and just a bum walking in, and cops wondering about his life in a coffee shop.
Yep. And then it goes into this
And-
psychotic bullshit.
And then we just
It's been a rough 3 months.
It's been a lot longer than that, but you're not wrong. It's been a rough, short stint. It's not been a full year yet. But
I love the concept of time in books. Like, you do all this stuff. It was only 3 weeks.
Yeah.
All right. Ivar
I-
has 200 points of IP to spend.
Damn, dude.
Well earned.
Mhm.
Save some for the
Yeah,
rest of
he's
us.
Barracks at 190 to spend.
120, because I spent so much. Okay.
well. I'm going to tell you
Kinda
this:
do wish I
100.
had died so I could become another AI and on
Just to
Thursday.
mess with people's thermostats.
Yeah.
So to send you off, because this is how Ivar is going to spend his money. The moment he picks up that extra crystal,
Yeah. The essence
Ivar's
check
up being
approved got me.
Oh. You like that?
Yeah.
Essence check approved.
It does add some wonderful experience to it, and there's going to be a cost. This is going to, because the system itself is a little frayed with some of the like composite shit that's thrown into it. It still works, but for me, I think it's a lot less clean. And like what Drew's saying, the fact that it kind of allows certain limitlessness without price. Like there should be no limit, but there should be a cost, and that to me that's important. And so the essence checks really
you can
throw
pay
that
the
in.
cost. You can do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely Essence of Shadows for sure.
Okay, so here we go. I needed 100 XP to get Reality Shift up to level 6. What does Ivar get with a level 6 Reality Shift? Knowing that he just picked up a crystal, he now has in his possession 2 outsiders. Not
Right.
sure if it does anything, but
Well, so what were you at the start? Like, do you bumped it up one level or you bumped it up several? Like,
well, he was at level 5.
okay, so he's gone up.
Anyway,
Boop.
Times 20.
Yeah, so I make notes every time we do it of how much I need to get to the next level. So 100 would get him to level 6,
So
and that leaves me about 100 points left.
right, so right about there, because powers themselves are kind of an odd cap. His reality shift
Mhm.
hits the max, and then because he'll be at that maximal point where he can affect this incredible range outside of himself. I believe we were bumping it 50 per level, if I'm not mistaken. So he gets 50 more feet on top of what he already had. So he's at 250 feet now. And that's in all directions around himself. So that gives him a 500-foot diameter of control.
So he has now maxed out Reality Shift.
Yep. What I will say can happen is that he's gonna. So you'll apply this to as part of it. He will have the capacity to understand his reality in a way that is extraordinarily unusual. So, I don't know what to call it yet, but I definitely know that what you should be able to do is fully comprehend. You know, the music is so tame and this shit's so crazy. But he should be able to understand in this incredibly intuitive way the physical composition of any material he comes into contact with, so he can start creating an archive of compositions. So what'll happen is that all difficulties are reduced by 1. So whenever he goes to Reality Shift now, he now has a he gets a +1 bonus, or either way when it's like, so his difficulties are reduced by 1. So all difficulties are reduced by 1. If I say he's got a DC 9 to Reality Shift blah blah blah, then he's actually at a difficulty 8. Does that make sense? So you get this.
Yeah, so it's he gets a target bonus.
Yeah. So his targets are reduced. You know, like his targets are reduced by 1 because he understands the composition of the materials he's working with so innately.
Nice. That's worth putting even in here as his notes.
Yes, you should definitely
I'll
have
take
that in
off.
there. All right, Scott. Always a pleasure.
Yep.
Yep,
Yes.
you guys have a
And-
great evening. That
Yeah,
was awesome.
I'm the same
You
way.
too.
Yes.
That
Very
was amazing.
satisfying month of play.
Yeah. Yes, it
Good
was.
night.
Everybody.
Take care.
Take it easy, and to those watching the stream.